Hello? Hello? Yeah.
Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can restore hope, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who lead with love, place your ex by the rising sun. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins, Trinbago. Everybody wins, everybody wins. Vote for peace, vote for love, vote for hope, vote for change. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins, Trinbago. Everybody wins, everybody wins. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream.
Yes. Let me just make sure.
When UNC wins,
Yes indeed. Yes indeed. When UNC wins, everybody wins. Yes indeed. President Nelson all and sundry. East West North Central of President Tobago. Yes indeed. Of course, I'm seeing myself, so I know that we are on. I want to find out, of course, from you tonight. We have come to the climax of the campaign. Tomorrow is election day. And of course, I would love to hear from you some of the highlights you would take away from this particular election, and therefore the various, what I consider to be experiences, the various incidents that you would have experienced during the course of the elections. I can tell you immediately that I have been disappointed. And because I am in the belly of the UNC, Kamala Prasad Visesa, and of course coalition of interest, I can tell you every effort was made to have a clean election. Every effort was made, and the attack was read in close quarters, in open quarters, that there must be decency, respect, and the maligning and or confrontation, physical or otherwise, should be avoided. Of course, the hostings, you're going to get, of course, a peacock, etc. That is part and parcel of it. But in the case of the PNM, peacock is a total lie. In the case of the UNC, like for example myself, I always, of course, nestle my arguments in facts, factual that could be verified. In other words, the veracity of which cannot be questioned. But you hear blatant lies on the platform. You want to know what planet these people come from, especially from Rowley and of course George Young. And what you know for sure, you know for sure that they are desperate. You know for sure that the opportunity to steal the elections, because we have to say that is what they did in the last 2 elections. So we have to say whether it's partially, whether it's wholly, the fact of the matter is that since they make the attempt, as far as I am concerned, you are undemocratic and you are attempting, of course, to undermine the electoral process. And we have seen it not only in the 2 major elections, national elections, but we saw it in even the local government elections, where Rowley told us categorically that he will not bring any international observers. That is significant, people. You cannot do that when you have a keen competition. Imagine at the local level, it's 7-7. You don't know that your duty as Prime Minister is to make certain that the integrity of the process is not compromised. But no, he wants an uneven advantage. He wants a clear and distinct advantage. Well, that was poignant and clear and of course pellucid when he tried that in the Tobago House of Assembly and got the PNMs reeling for 1 seat. Reeling for 1 seat, begging for 1 seat in other words. But let's go to of course some of the highlights of tonight. And I'm opening the lines early. 337-6940 for those of you who are there. And of course we are going to look at some of the, all right, I understand that we may not be on Facebook. Let me treat with that. But let me say, of course, welcome East, West, North, South, Central, or Prince of Tobago, and wherever you are. Streaming on the World Wide Web, a pleasant good day to you. This is just the corridor transformation on this penultimate day before, of course, election 2025. Tomorrow, Monday, on the 28th of April. All right, so that's important, of course. But let me, of course, formally make my introduction as well by, of course, by indicating, say, remember, of course, tonight, midnight, that's the end of campaigning, so we still have some leeway. Let us, of course, take a look at some of the highlights of the past. I mean, massive crowd at the UNC. I cannot say the same for the PNM. We'll watch at both. But let's take on Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Yes, indeed, of course, more. Yes, indeed. humanity, fantastic sea of humanity. And if you were on the vantage point that I was, that is on stage, you were seeing people as far as the eye can see at the Arangweza Savannah. Of course, the stage was closer to the very southern border, almost to the fence, the southern fence, and therefore you had all of the northern, eastern, western sides of that savannah. I like to say it is probably half of the Queen's Park Savannah in terms of size. But there wasn't even room for other human beings to participate or to, of course, watch the goings on. And of course, it was a spectacular performance, a production, artists, mix. And of course, in that sea of humanity, yes, on Saturday, that sea of humanity, yesterday, that sea of humanity, you had all colors of the human pigment. Human pigment. There. Understand that we may not be on Facebook. Wait, I'm seeing something here that suggests that it's human. All right. All right, I'm seeing that we have a little problem with as far as Facebook is concerned. Let me just take a switch and look at that. Whilst, of course, we put on another video. It was a fantastic experience indeed. That was short, boy.
I start with a few words of gratitude to the UNC members. You have carried me for many years. Seen me fight for you when I was a young woman. It's the first UNC government. Now, my body may have aged because of the years of battering, bruising, humiliation, ridicule, abuse, and insult. I've been called the worst things anyone can be called. I've been called Shamit, which I'm not. I've been called drunk, which I'm not. I've been called dog. I've been called every nasty word in between. But to you, my loving UNC rank and file members, I was always Amla. Do not fear. Amla is here. Through it all. Through it all. I never became angry. I never became bitter. Because in my darkest moments, I always had the love and comfort of the loyal, rounded path UNC membership. I want to thank you. I want to thank you. I really want to thank you for caring, for loving me, and lifting me up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. filled with love. I have been and will always be a mother to all of you. Was I perfect? No, I wasn't. And I humbly say sorry to my loyal rank and file members and friends for that. I did make some mistakes, but as a good mother, I was never ashamed.
Come here, sit down now.
Because I am your seed,
take a
and
chair.
I am proud. We are your
Take that chair.
and
Bring
we
it in.
are proud.
Yeah? Huh?
I was
This the
never
one?
ashamed
All right.
of where we came from.
My COP friend.
I stood for you.
People, of course, we are joined by, of course, my colleague and friend. Come on. Yes, indeed. Of course, we are joined by my colleague and friend, a very, very dear friend indeed. We have been in the vineyards for many years. But of course, he is, of course, touting the COP. Of course, I am touting the political leader of love. But all of us are part and parcel of the what? Of the coalition of interests led by Kamala Prasad Bisesa under the UNC. And yes, indeed, of course, yesterday was a fantastic day. But let me just pause. Let me just pause, of course, to greet him formally, and of course to tell him welcome to the set of the corridor transformation. And of course, as I said, tonight, right into tomorrow until 6 o'clock. Yes, corridor transformation will be here, and you'll be getting information as far as numbers are concerned, contact numbers to contact us. If you want to know where you could vote, we will be doing that as well during the course of the day. I will be here in and out, and we are going to, of course, when you call me on the phone, I will, of course, respond, and we'll have another computer set up just to connect to EBC to make sure that everybody know where to cast their vote. You see, this election must be so big that it cannot be rigged. So big that it cannot be rigged. And therefore, of course, we know the temperament, the propensity, and the ability of the PNM to, of course, subvert the electoral process. I spoke to you earlier about what they tried with respect, Rowley tried with respect, of course, to Tobago, and they failed. They could hardly get a seat there. Well, they tried it again with respect, of course, to the local government again, when they went to Parliament with a very slim majority, 21 seats, and then, of course, then postponed the elections, but the Privy Council said that was wrong. It's only Rowley and his minions say that they didn't want to undermine the Constitution and our constitutional rights to determine by way of vote, by way of our franchise, who we should elect to be our leaders. That bunch of what I consider to be opportunistic political parasites. But that means as it may, let me get this here because I want to get my friend to talk a little bit. Go closer to the mic, my friend. I'm not going to. Yes, indeed. Let me take off the background so we are a bit more comfortable. I don't want you to be confused at all. All right, good. So, my friend, how has been the campaign so far? Come a little more because when I see in your face that, let me show you the setup. This is on YouTube right now, so look us there, right? So you could come on a little bit so I could see you a little more, right? Good. And so everybody's seeing you in the world, all over the world right now, right? And then of course, this is the system that we're using in-house to, of course, bring that to YouTube and therefore to all the people across the globe. I have this mic, you have that mic, right? And the camera is there. Right. I have to do it, people, of course. You could call it a live show. You could call it what those people, some of those bloggers And let's do they go in the bed and they sleep and they get up and so on, and then they give it a particular name. Well, we are practical here as well. So my friend, introduce yourself first and foremost, and then of course we will get into the conversation.
I will say pleasant night. My name is Ralph Maximin, and I am a member of the Congress of the People, a member of the coalition of interest. I have been involved with politics since 2007. I have contested 3 local elections for Port-au-Spain North, Centre and West.
See,
And-
we seen parties that come keep on this
Yes.
side here. So big man, bring this here.
I have now finished campaigning with Brother Kurt Sinnett, and he went all in the hills of Laventil, John Sealot, and it was amazing the kind of response the people responded as though they were, so happy to really see some help. Some people were actually begging, oh God, it's time. What I'm seeing here this year, I've never experienced anything like that in my entire life. And
My friend, I'll pause it because that's the actual question I was going to ask you. We have been around for some time, from time immemorial. But have you seen?
never.
Never. I mean, this very office here, this Communication and Information Center, could not have had a UNC, what I consider to be regalement, should I say, ornamentation, all of those flags and so on could not have been there. It would have disappeared already, if not burnt. And that is what has happened. I don't know is it Kamala mania, is it UNC mania, is it of course the coalition
I
of
have
interest,
never seen
or the PNM brought that on themselves.
when we walked in Desperately
Yes.
yesterday. One of the young men painted up his whole wall in
Right.
yellow.
Yellow, yes.
A young man from Desperately.
Yeah,
His
all
whole
over.
wall is yellow.
Yes.
And he has up a big banner. Desperately Crescent, Picton. We're talking about John Sealot. It was like a carnival there this evening.
Right, and you have as well, of course, further up the road, St. Barb's, the hardest of the hard
Yes.
in terms of recalcitrant, in terms of either changing. And up there, they pull down. I mean, I could say it now. They pull down PNM paraphernalia, and they put up the UNCO. They brought pictures for me today. I'm going to show it tomorrow. Tomorrow, after, of course, the elections result. I don't want to appear to be campaigning. So after the results, 8 o'clock, we're going to be right here, and we are going to, of course, evaluate what transpired. Yes, whilst I have to be at the camp, and I am tempted, of course, to lift up the whole system and carry it there, but I want to have a neutral building so we can have an audience and so on. Probably tomorrow we'll have that, and to hear the impressions of the audience as well. But my friend, yes, I know that you are excited just as I am.
Because yesterday, when we went to a certain planet, and I want to call the name, one of the lieutenants there
Yes.
told us that the people, the PNM came and put up the candidate poster in Mr. Scotland,
Right.
and she waited till 4 o'clock this morning to pull them down.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that is what we are
Barcelona
getting.
Street right up in the road. The people were crying, oh God, so long we waited on the altar to come. They
Well,
told us that
We have a calling program, so let me see. Let me see. Hello? Yeah. All right. No, I ain't see it yet because I'm on the program. But I ain't see it yet. It come from your number? Your number? Huh? What is it? All right. Okay. And what is the total? Huh? Tell me what is the total because... Oh God. Tell me what is the total? Yeah. It's 1,200? 1,200? 1,200 is 12 cars, that's all? Alright, okay, alright. People sorry about that, but of course I have a campaign to run as well. Laventille East Mover candidate. We're looking to put the cars and so on in place, but they have to get gas and so on. And anybody out there who, of course, who have some extra money and they want to help, we will be very, very appreciative. I myself, I have not, of course, participated intrinsically in the campaign because you remember that candidate is our candidate. We have to find the monies, and I thought I would have been the best person to stay out of the inner workings of the camp, even though there are some issues that I will have to attend myself as just now. But the fact is that I think we have found capable people who have done human service, having regard, of course, to the shortness of the election, and of course the need to, of course, fund it in spite of the shortness, because everything needs money. So if you have a little change still, I would appreciate, call me 337-6940, and of course I'll give you another number after the program so that you can call that number as well, so that you don't say that you were calling and the phone is, of course, in a state of eternal busyness. Let me put it that way. But go ahead, Mr.
Yes, Mr. Smith,
Yes.
I have never seen anything like this in my entire life. I have been on the ground for so many years. But I also do counseling.
Right, yes.
Drug addicts and alcohol.
Yes.
But this couple of days, the brother Kurt Sinet walking through the hills of Laventille and Barcelona Street and see lots and has been extremely, amazing to see how people were so
Gravitating and enthusiastic.
as a matter of some people
Yeah, and
told
interesting,
us
yeah.
they were waiting on us so long. They don't want to see the candidates and the other party at
Yeah,
all.
yes.
I felt sad. That people were really.
No, you cannot
Me.
feel sad. I mean, that is your position, right? So I'm respecting that.
Yeah.
But I'm talking generically. One cannot feel sad because the PNM has abused their authority. Let's not waste time with that. I have a difficulty in, of course, trying to butter up and color up. The fact of the matter is that they shot themselves in both legs. And let me use, of course, a criminologistic term, if you want to call that. People don't want to hear it, but that's a fact. The rambunctious and obnoxious nature of Dr. Rowley, and then has the audacity to put a Chinese man called Young, that seemed to be eternally old, to, of course, run the affairs of the country. Come, boy, you see, you're right, because we wouldn't be seeing you. When you ain't seeing yourself there on this side, that means that them out there wouldn't see you.
I see, yes.
Right. And but that's the camera there, don't forget. Okay. So I am pleased that the population has finally recognized, and in particular, Laventille and environs, Beetham, Sealats, etc. It has nothing to do with personality, and I want to commend you all. Because of course one can say Marcel is a young fella, give him a break. But there is no break here, because when Short John could tell you that the 9 years gone, or the 9 years, the last one of which is current, or the 10 years, the last one of which is current, that we were observing, and you were protecting us, and then of course the part of that 9 years or 10 years, you were feeling your way. That is nonsense. You have to be a compound backside to be giving that kind of explanation for your presence and for your term in office. It's 2 terms, people. How you mean you were protecting us? You see, he tried to play smart with foolishness. Rowley, when of course he was at the helm, although he is at the helm at the back, so Young is just a vicarious representation of Rowley, meaning that he represented Rowley. We know that, we ain't stupid. How the hell you is Prime Minister but Rowley talking last? Oh, is that possible? No Prime Minister will countenance that if you're the real Prime Minister, but we know he's a fake Prime Minister and a lame duck Prime Minister. And of course, it will be a Prime Minister with the shortest stint as being Prime Minister, a month. A month. A month. The hard thing about it is, I think they should set up a law one time if you're the prime minister for a month alone, especially in that circumstance, take back the pension and take back the blasted salary that such a person would be getting, because it's a scam. Yes, it's a hoodwinking. And of course, Rowley is well known for that. So that has been orchestrated by Rowley. He don't mind. He getting $47,000 a month. $47,000 a month, because he is reckless. Rowley is reckless and brutal as far as the people of Trinidad and Tobago is concerned, at the level of callousness, at the level of belligerence, at the level of evil that he has perpetrated on the people. He believes that we will take that in perpetuity. No, it cannot be. That is abuse. That is reckless. That is evil. That is injury. But of course, I know you may have your own concept as to, as I said, is either the people have awakened, and that awakening is as a result of one, what I consider to be the brutality of the PNM in government. Two, it could be the result of Kamala Mania, the offerings of the UNC led by Kamala Prasad Bisesa, and of course the coalition of interests, and it may be a variety of other things, including of course people catching the tail ant and nenen under Rowley, and he has only brutal and evil thing to say in that process. We have until 12 o'clock, people, so we campaign yes, if we have to, but of course within the context of the truth, nothing but the truth, the veracity of which could easily be, and don't get me vexed before I prove everything I say there, but go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, I just want to say, Mr. Smith, that
you have to go.
I have to go, but I just want to remind my people that
yes,
the time for us to start to love ourselves and to be honest with ourselves and ask yourself the question, are you satisfied with your way of life?
right. But let me just take this call because we have a
Pleasant
call.
night. Okay.
Pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor. My guest, my impromptu guest, has to go momentarily, but let me just hear what you have to say.
All right. Good night to the honorable doctor.
Good night.
How are you, my friend?
Well, of course, as good as could be in this circumstance, very optimistic and upbeat.
I'm calling you to let you know that you made a mistake just now. It's 47% by 87,000. Right?
Oh, 47.
No.
Yes, 47% increase, but it's 87,000. Yes, I agree with you. Yes.
Right.
Sorry about that, yes.
Now, here's what happening. You see what the fella from Tutor, you see the president from Tutor do?
Yes, the president of Tutor, he did accept the 5%, so we know where he is leaning, just as Rambly, just as, of course, the other dissident.
I don't want to hear Rambly and Anita Haynes and them. Forget them. I don't want to hear them.
Yeah, but I'm saying that the intent is, the objective is same as them, meaning that they're trying to sway the population, and people like Laverty and so on are telling them one time, will never forgive them for what they have tried to do.
Right.
Let me tell Rambly and the others, and the Tutor president and all of them, what you try to do to leave the Laverty people and these people who have been oppressed and depressed and downtrodden to, of course, to the mercies of this evil, wicked, diabolical group of individuals is unpardonable. Unpardonable. Or let's take that how all you want it. Go ahead, my friend.
All you remember through COVID,
Yes.
right? When a body died, that is it. Nothing happened with that body again.
Nothing
And
happened.
them broke and them is no hell, body cremation or nothing.
Cremation,
The wrong body at time.
Interment, yes.
Right? But my last thing is here that when this man come on the podium and talking about honesty, what the hell you talking about, mister? Honesty? And all the line through all your face, and these Donnie and them taking up that, we'll buy glad for them if they can't think for themselves, yes? Honestly.
Yeah, my friend.
You know, fella, but anyhow, I will leave that already. I will leave that already, brother. I want to mention nothing about the young fella.
I hear you, my
When I
friend.
hear you talk,
Yes.
I get dumb shock. I say, nah, a young person can be talking about bullshit on the
Yeah, telling you, boy, they gone mad. They really say who the gods we should destroy. They first send them mad. They have gone berserk. Yeah. Cognitive and intellectual decline.
Let me keep your eyes on these people, but remember, polling cats cannot show you until after a year.
Yes, my friend.
The vote on them. The voting papers cannot be thrown away until after a year.
The ballot papers, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Ballot papers, them. All right, my brother.
All right, man. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Yes. All right, any parting words? Just give us a little parting words, sir.
Well, I just want to wish the people of my beloved country to rise up in the morning, please God, with a good conscience,
Just now,
to love yourself and be honest with yourself. Because we are living in a democratic country. It is your right to have a better life. As the 23rd Psalm said, you were created to lie down in greener pastures. So may God bless us tomorrow until we meet again. Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Yes, man.
And may you continue your great work.
Yes,
God
man.
bless you, love.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. So of course, that is our good friend, COP, colleague in, of course, the coalition of interest. Let me just take up this mic here. Yes, indeed. So anybody out there who want to join us, well, certainly they can join us. Yes, indeed. So of course, tonight will be an in and out kind of thing as we, of course, prepare for the casting of ballots tomorrow morning. A pleasant good night, Miss Arima.
Yes, Lennox, good night.
Good night to you.
Let me know if you're getting any echo.
Now, getting a little thing in the background there, like your device a little too hard.
Okay, I'll lower it down.
Yes.
But what I wanted to tell you is, you forget to mention the ground report.
In what
You hear me?
context? In what context?
Well, you was mentioning all what the government do to the people, and
Oh, you mean in
to
terms of
like
influence?
them, the supporters in the PNM, and
All right,
you say
okay,
maybe
okay.
it's
Yeah, well, I know
Kamala,
normally there's-
but no, you have to talk about the ground report and the corridor transformation.
All right, okay.
It's
Thanks.
all these programs people keep listening to,
Yes,
and listening to the educated callers. You know, it had the little dummies and them, but
Of
in
course,
between,
you always have
it has
the
the
recalcitrant and the
educated callers
those who
who
exhibit
will
some
make the
controversy.
contribution and let the people be aware of what's going on.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
You
indeed.
know? About Rambali, well, not only Rambali, Anita Haynes.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
with
I
that
don't understand
appearance
how
they made
myopic
there
one can be.
yesterday.
And they are supposed to be
I
intelligent people.
I'm not surprised. I wasn't
You're not
surprised. I
surprised?
know.
Wow. I surprised, boy.
Huh?
I surprised.
You surprised?
Yeah, I thought they were
Well,
intelligent people.
Lennox, this what I can't take with you. You doesn't believe in me. I tell you this long time. In time to come, when the election come, it will have the PNM paying these people to cross the floor and to make them kind of bacchanal. I preach that. I predict that. It must be 2 years now.
Right, well,
Because they want to bust up, they wanted to bust up the UNC because they can't win. And you see how they start, they want to look at thief.
Yeah. All right.
Hello?
Yes.
You see how they're trying to thief and all of that from early o'clock and they catch up with some of the things they plan to do. I tell all them things, but I couldn't say who would I do it. But I know how they would operate because who they're dealing with.
Yes.
That is what they just do.
Yeah.
You see? So I put these things forward for people to look out for that. But when I tell you, when I see it there, I ain't gonna lie to tell you, I get a little sick, My pressure drops.
No, you see, I saw it as a
I feel
thing.
little thing.
Yeah.
And then after, I had to console myself because the thing was so bad.
Yeah, so
You
bad
know?
looking. So bad looking because the intention was for it to look bad. But the PNM propaganda machinery has stalled. It has collapsed. You see, because...
Yeah, but we're showing you too with this man, Rushton Parry.
Yes.
and Rodney Charles. They kind of cool on the side,
Yes.
right? But this other two,
They come up
Because
later, of
there's
course,
some
with
people,
people
some
like
half-failures.
Lala and they. But the point I was making today to somebody on this very matter is that I don't understand, I still cannot comprehend, it is still enigmatic to me that these publicly, apparently intelligent people would make such a stupid decision at this 12th hour to save the PNM from certain collapse, certain disaster, a certain destruction. Their currency has no value, political and otherwise, and you go on a platform there. You know why I say that? Because all of them together cannot match up with the benefit that John Jeremy brought to the UNC. That is what got me puzzled. If you see a man like John Jeremy.
Lennox, give me a chance. It has stupid people, you know.
But you
It
hear
has
this
to
what I'm
people
saying?
who
They
are
have
for
to be
that.
stupid. You're just reinforcing what I want to say. Because I don't understand. That man had entanglement with even Pandey. They tried to jail him and all of that. And here it is, he come on a UNC platform. You know what you doing or whatever you bring is no match to what he has brought to the UNC. That man was a former attorney general and scheme, did all kind of things, caused the magistrate, Sherman McNichols, to come to him to settle a land matter that the magistrate that was dealing with the Pandey case. All of that happened. And so much so that the court say, listen, when they get that message, so they say, but listen, let us look at this matter on the basis of political interference. And that's how Pandey get away. Them believe all of them together could match that kind of what I consider to be political deviousness of a former attorney general. Man, they're making jokes.
You listening to me, Lennox?
But go ahead, man.
Rowley said the people of Trinidad and Tobago are stupid, and that half people will go for that. Who not listening to politics? You see all that thing you talk about John Jeremy there?
Yeah.
They ain't all about that.
I mean,
You
they
know,
know.
judge me.
Oh, Lord.
Them dance people and thing reaching day.
Wow,
Just
wow,
that bacchanal
wow,
alone
wow,
could
wow.
cause
Well, I tell
upset.
you, well, they have
But it
reached.
have who were taking that.
Yeah.
It have who were going for that. And the way that happened, the people started talk right all over. So it's people like you, me, the fighters on the ground report and this program have to, talk for people to catch themselves. That is what we're there for, right? So
All right.
again, I just have to say, all we have now is the Lord to put his hands so that
And
the
guide
UNC
the
will win.
population to, of
Right,
course.
because they have many tricks up the sleeve.
Oh, yes,
they
yes,
make
yes.
sure and they invite observers from the different organizations that they could have asked. And the mama guy, we would Commonwealth to say, well, at least the Commonwealth come. Right?
Now, well, I have
much
absolute
about
faith
them.
in the Commonwealth. Absolute faith.
Hello?
If we got Carter Foundation, even better. But of course,
It
when
would
I
have been
look at
better, yes.
look at the, you see, if we only had, for example, CARICOM, but I would be upset all over the place. But I have confidence in the Commonwealth. You see, because they come from the place that the Privy Council exists.
Yes, I know that is
Beautiful.
that's under the king.
So let's
under the king. The king, is this country. How
their
we
system
are
is,
a member of Commonwealth.
yeah, the system
we
of
under the
honesty
king.
and integrity, I mean, is impeccable. All right, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you very much. Yes, indeed, people. Yes, as I was saying, Anita Haynes, Rambali. Who's the next one? La. I mean, you have to be an absolute and consummate nincompoop at this last minute, is not to say, just like Young, they go have about a what? Well, them will have a little, probably, I don't know if they were talking to the PNM before, but if we look at the campaign, they will have about 2 or 3 days to attract whatever favor that they would have gotten from the PNM to do the nonsense that they did. But as I was saying, John Jeremy's presence under the UNC Coalition of Interest platform, the value of that is invaluable. In other words, it is so valuable that you can't put a price on it. And these buffoons, because they hate one person, Kamala, so much, who obviously now all in the UNC, all outside the UNC, all the PNM people that are not going to vote for the PNM, they are going to vote for the UNC, and if they cannot vote at all because of whatever hiccup that they may have, they wouldn't go out and vote. They wouldn't go out and vote. You seeing that none of them could match that value that Jeremy brought on that platform, implicitly and convincingly and unashamedly endorsing Kamala Persad-Bissessar, the UNC, and of course the Coalition of Interest, and you go and do that. To do what? At least Parry was smarter, and the other fellow, of course, he stay out, and that's it. A pleasant good night, welcome.
Good night, Mr. Lennox.
Good night, my friend.
Yesterday I listened to the
Yes, man.
Prime Minister on the platform, and everything he said he lash against Kamala. He whole half an hour and more speech. I looking for some principle to say what he's going to do, but everything is a find down. But I have something to say, Mr. Lennox. History show you. The good book is very, the true Bible is about.
Oh yes.
History show you that it is relevant and is evident.
Yeah. All kinds of stories you could build into this. The cornerstone, the stone that the builder reject is now the cornerstone.
That's true.
The hole you dig for others, you may well fall in it. Oh, what a tangle web we weave when we first set out to deceive. I mean, you can go on and on. There's so many lessons and so many what I consider to be morals in this story of Kamala Persad-Bissessar, the UNC, and of course her efforts to sanitize herself.
Because I hear a leader, a Christian leader, a very strong Christian leader, telling me that we shouldn't endorse a party. What unto you? How do you mean we shouldn't endorse a party? So you're telling me we can't say the right thing in our constitution? We can't say the right thing? So you're telling me in the days of Moses, so I shouldn't endorse Moses, I should endorse Pharaoh? That is what you're telling me? No, man, you have to show the right principle. So you're telling me in the days I should not endorse Jesus, I should endorse Barnabas? Nah, man, you have to do better than this. And then after a democracy does run by, and democracy is the right to vote. But you never take away truth and value and principle from democracy.
Of course not.
You have to choose based on standard. So as a believer, you can't tell me don't endorse somebody. I have the right to endorse. And then after watching Venezuela, then we should endorse Maduro. That is what he's telling me.
Yeah, you have done everything inimical to Trinidad and Tobago's interests. Today I had to, of course, upload a video that I created earlier with respect, of course, to Stuart Young and his cowardice nature, and that he's a charlatan lawyer. All of what he has achieved is because Rowley was around and favor him. And now he is on his own, so to speak, and paddling his own canoe. We see the shortcomings and the what I consider to be the infantile nature of the man. The fella is no class. no class, and you impose that man on the population because you believe Trinidadians so stupid that anything the PNM do, once they call it PNM, Rowley Bamsi right now must be well, I shouldn't say must be, is palpitating to the degree, knowing now that his entire scheme has now collapsed on him. It has imploded. And now that he'll be looking for friends all over the place because everybody are going to leave him. It's just a matter of hours now before they leave his tail to, of course, rot wherever it is deposited. But go ahead, my friend.
And you're telling me I mustn't endorse UNC when I see Love's track record?
Yes.
Your track record alone, you're not there, pop-up party, then Pep track record, all it was never in power and all it was trying to do. And then the next thing you know, talk about John Jeremy too. So these, I think from the show, these Christian leaders got to say the right thing on the platform to people to make quality decisions based on democracy, governed by righteousness and right principle and right standard. You can't compromise on that. Remember one more thing. Remember God said,
yes.
Only the truth will set you free, and that is true.
That's right. That's it. And that is another one of the lessons, the multiple lessons in this experience over the last 9 point something years of this group of individuals who clearly have lost their way. Their greed is phenomenal and, of course, unprecedented. But go ahead.
Well, when I say that, I get so worried about my people on the PNM side. That is our people, and how they can choose a party when they're untruth, when they're unrighteous. And then after we go to church and lift our hand and be normal, we have to choose on right principle and standard for our life. I'm Mr. Lennox. Great victory tomorrow, man. God bless.
Yes, man. Thank you very much. Because what is the choice? Bowley and they and Stuart Young, they are telling you, choose property tax. Choose no increase in pension, senior citizens. Choose no increase, or if at all, minuscule increase, only to say that it is an increase in, of course, salaries and wages, particularly government workers, 4% and 5%. They even went as far as to say, according to Stuart Young, he tried to make 10% to start with, offered by Kamala Prasad Bisesa, the UNC and the coalition, look as though it is more than 10%. 5% is more than 10%. That is what they are telling you. That is what you are being told to accept. Yeah, boldface. They are telling you, do without, of course, the refinery. Even though there was a scenario consequential of the Ukraine war with Russia that brought an extra $8 billion into the coffers of this country by virtue of the oil that we produce, even though we are producing less oil, after we were told that Heritage by itself will be producing and increasing its output in terms of oil. It's the reverse, people. How could we countenance that? We have to be lamb to the slaughter if that is so. We have to be consummate fools to accept that kind of option. And them telling us that evil, wickedness, pain, ache, and agony is better than, of course, increase in salaries, reduction, of course, in what? In VAT, so that prices at the store becomes much more affordable. That is what Kamala Prasad Bisesa is offering under the coalition. Rowley and Stuart Young are telling us to accept pain because that is good for us. But them eating ham, lamb, and jam by increasing, of course, their salaries respectively and individually. Hold the tail. A pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Hey, Lennox, right?
Hey. Yes, man.
Hey, me good?
Loud and clear.
Right. Let me tell you what happened to the PNM overall.
Yeah.
last 10 years. They tell themselves, this is a long time. You wasn't in touch with what's going on. You go do what you want, one person just calls that. And when time comes, you go pay his 2 road, and they go vote for me again. They lost touch with reality, Lennox. Right?
No, I agree with you. I just remember a psychological term called manic depressive psychosis. That may be manic depressive psychosis. People who are totally out of touch with reality. But go ahead. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So they never keep in touch with what's going on.
Yeah.
So they were living in their own world, like so to speak, as you put it. Right?
But how I look at it, my friend, because you touched a very good point there. Who would have influenced these big people who say they went to university, even though of course one didn't do maths, but of course they are now of course occupying the office, but temporary of course, ephemerally, Robinson Regis, and then of course the others who say they are lawyers and maybe some other profession, one is accountant, whatever it is. But who can make these big people think in the way that they have in the last 9 years and believe that the population will turn on them? Who did that?
Arrogance, who they was pompous. Who wants to them, they will just want to tell you they lost touch with reality.
Yeah. But who influenced that? The only person who could have influenced that is Rowley.
And they themselves, I mean.
Yeah, he believed that he is infallible. He believed he's a political guru. And he knows the people better than everybody else. He always say that. Right? And then, of course, he orchestrates all kind of things to, of course, get himself out of the iniquities against the people that they would have imposed. Like, of course, setting up a doctorate scenario to get close to Biden so that he could get, of course, access here to some of Biden's officials. That's what he do.
Yes.
And so all of them are amazed about that. And they decide, of course, to go hitch their future to that destructive wagon. And then it turns out, of course, that what Rowley promised was merely an illusion, nestled, of course, in criminal behavior and conmanism. But go ahead, my friend.
Yeah. I mean, I never hear they call it on Michael the Archangel. I never hear so much of religion, so give me life.
You call him the Archangel now?
Yes,
Yeah.
Regis. Call it
Well,
on
I
Michael the
see a couple of them using broom. They don't know that they have cursed themselves to the Baptist community. The broom is a sacred thing. You do not use it. Use it, lambash, and of course, without any sacred or religious significance, but merely for you to stay in government. You try to say that you sweeping out. Well, boy, that broom will turn on them and sweep them out.
And bust some lash on them too. You know they're not supposed to hit a dog with a
That's
broom.
right, yes.
You just keep coughing on it. Watch me. You see that what they do with the broom there?
Yeah.
And call it on Michael the Archangel and all this thing. The dogs, if they're mad, they are romantically enjoying that.
Yeah, telling you, all of them have gone totally berserk.
Yeah. I am with him, Martin Gonzalez.
Yeah.
He went to church this morning.
Eh?
Yes, boy. Pastor called me and tell me he was in the church.
That's but you know that's always for optics purposes. It is camouflagery, and it is of course political gimmickry. Yeah.
Well, it's too late for them.
Political gimmickry. You do know that because I remembered when he falsely accused the Muslim community of trying to kill him, a carnival passed.
All of that.
And he was invited into a mosque because he wants to placate or to to show that he is not what we know him to be or they know him to be. Well, we know him to be as well. And guess what? He fall asleep in the people mosque.
I tell you, boy,
Never see that. He fall asleep in the people's mosque, and as if that wasn't bad enough. The last Eid session, where Church Young was invited now to give zakah. That is a charity to the poor and the underprivileged and the downtrodden. You know, the man gave a little dollar or two and tell the people, I hope you vote for me. So it defeats the purpose of being charitable, because you're giving something for something. That is what that connotates. And he get cursed one time.
Watch me. What is your role make after?
Yeah.
Remember how they make that song?
Yeah.
After he visited the mosque and Dr. Sleep?
Yes.
What did he that song? I can't remember it. Lennox?
Hey.
Yeah, mad.
Yeah, they've gone berserk. It's a clear case of manic depressive
I never hear a man make so much
psychosis.
of like short song last night. That's like, I'm 10 past 9, you're still talking, you know. I'm not being
and talking to all almost empty savannah, comparatively speaking.
Yeah, I'm talking crap, Lennox.
Yeah. People, let me show you the savannah in the meantime. That the what? Of course, it is the Eddie Had ground. So let me show you it. I don't want to exaggerate, nor would I exacerbate either. But it is horrible that they would that kind of thing would have occurred. Let me just show you it so you will understand what was going on there. Because this is a drone coverage. Watch. Drone coverage, Papa. Watch it. Have you seen it? Watch it. But when they finish, doctor, it looking as though is a full crowd and trying to compete, of course, with the UNC. But there's another area you must look at when you would be looking at some of the recordings. I'll tell you after this call.
Lennox,
A pleasant good night, yes.
Diego Martin in the house.
Go ahead, my friend.
You're having an all-night vigil. You're going to accompany, don't worry.
I hear you.
Listen to this. I want to know where my taxpayers' money going and nobody is talking about it. He is no longer the Prime Minister, right?
Yeah.
Where is he staying? Small Pin is the Prime Minister, and I expect Small Pin to stay somewhere in diplomatic center. They're sharing bedrooms out. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I had that came across my mind as well, as to where Rowley is really is and where Churchong is.
He's supposed to vacate.
Vacate the diplomatic center. Yeah.
Because that costing me, because you know you have a big family.
Yeah.
All his grandchildren are taxpayers are feeding him. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what I wanted to talk about is the poll that the Guardian basically tried to explain. You know that poll out, they call it the BE poll that the Canadian consulting firm basically did. That poll tells us a lot, and I think the Guardian in its editorial on it confused the facts that the man did. That is Dr. Jean-Pierre. And by the way, that man did a research on gangs in CARICOM in 2022, and so CARICOM have a lot of confidence in him.
Okay.
But listen to it, my take on the poll, with my SCA brains now,
Yeah.
two things come out in that poll. One of it The AI research done by this man on the poll said one significant thing, and people missing it.
Uh-huh.
He's saying it's going to be a landslide victory for UNC. People must read it.
Yes. I saw that. I was waiting for you
A
to.
landslide victory. And what he said, based on prevailing factors, he has, and I insert in my term, he has moderated the outcome. And he moderated the outcome, for example, and it makes sense, 50 of them go say, they're going into the booth, PNM supporters, and then when they read the booth, the PNM job, the local job, they shake their hand and they vote, go on to vote back. So when he moderated, UNC still winning. Not by a landslide, by a couple of seats. So the statistician will say the likelihood of the UNC winning is more than 50%. And it's between 55% and 80% the chances of UNC winning. So that is where the 55% is the 21-22 seats. The
Yes.
landslide is 27 seats.
Yes.
So, and I can't understand the Guardian couldn't flesh out that from the poll. And what makes me more happy is when your partner, what they call him, NACTA, said when he do a poll last month, the PNM was way in front. But the big swing as of the 26th, the UNC has gone in front. Now, the Canadian poll with all the AI did not pick up the 26th, the poll of the 26th by NACTA. They did all they took into consideration all the NACTA poll, the Guardian poll, Hamid Ghani poll, and things like that. So that tells you it is so skewed with respect to probability that we can all go to bed and say we have it in the bag, and we will be moving away from going to Haiti and at the back door of Venezuela. And we do have to close the gate 6 o'clock in the evening. We could have some open parallel breeze to come in. So that is what I am going to bed. But I might keep you company and listen to the show.
I will be going whole night. I'll be putting up my picture, and of course I have some information that I'll be sending out regularly in terms of numbers, and if you want assistance with where you're supposed to call, we have of course the link to EBC, and I will assist you with of course where you have to go and vote, etc., and your polling card number and all of that. So
Right.
it's quite a mouthful.
I'm on the line. For senior citizens, if you're taking a senior citizen to vote, and we know senior citizens are fragile and the hand could shake, go to the presiding officer and say, look, ma'am or mister, my parent, my aunt need my assistant inside the box because her hands could shake. So I need to be there. And I believe they will give you some legal form to sign off that you going inside there. You can't put somebody fragile and as they go to stamp. You know seniors could operate at time.
Yes.
So this is for people. Make sure you go to the senior citizen.
Good.
If the senior citizen can't stay in the line, go to the presiding officer and say, look, you want a priority. I don't know if they have a